The Galactic Council had mistaken humanity's diplomacy for weakness. For 73 years, they had tested the boundaries of human tolerance, pushing further with each transgression. They seized colony ships bound for the Outer Rim, citing navigational disputes. They imposed tariffs that strangled Earth's trade routes. They detained human diplomats on fabricated charges, releasing them only after months of humiliation, and humanity had endured it all with gritted teeth and forced smiles. Commander Hazel Reeves stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, humanity's flagship, watching the holographic display of the Vraxian Armada positioned just outside the Sol system's heliopause. 43 warships, each one dwarfing anything in Earth's fleet. The Vraxians were the Council's enforcers, their crystalline vessels bristling with weapons that could glass planets. "They're hailing us again, Commander," said Lieutenant Louis Chen from the communications station, his young face drawn tight with tension. "Same demands. Immediate withdrawal from the Kepler colonies, full reparations to the Vraxian Empire, and submission to Council arbitration." Hazel's reflection in the viewport showed a woman who had aged a decade in the past year. Dark circles shadowed her eyes, and strands of premature gray threaded through her black hair. Behind her, the bridge crew waited in silence, watching their commander with a mixture of hope and dread. "The Kepler colonies are ours by every law the Council itself established," Hazel said quietly. "We terraformed those worlds. We bled for them." "The Council doesn't see it that way, ma'am," Lewis replied. "According to Ambassador Vrax, humans are recent arrivals to the galactic community and should defer to established powers." Recent arrivals. Humanity had been part of the Galactic Council for 73 years. The Vraxians had joined merely 3 centuries before that, yet they wielded power as if they'd shaped the galaxy since its birth. The true ancient races, the Keepers, the Witnessers, had long ago retreated to their corner of space, watching with detached curiosity as younger civilizations squabbled. Hazel turned from the viewport. "What's the status of Operation Hourglass?" Louis checked his console, then looked up with surprise. "All fleets report ready, Commander. I didn't realize—" He trailed off, understanding dawning in his eyes. "You've been planning this." "For 3 years," Hazel confirmed, "since the Vraxians destroyed the Mayflower and claimed it was an accident." Her voice hardened. "Since they killed 4,000 colonists and their children, and the Council did nothing." The bridge fell silent. Every officer present remembered the Mayflower. Some had lost family in that atrocity. "Ma'am," Louis said carefully, "if we engage, this means war with the entire Council." "No," Hazel corrected. "This means war with those Council members who choose to stand with the Vraxians. I'm betting most won't." She activated the fleet-wide channel. "All ships, this is Commander Reeves. Activate Hourglass protocols. Target packages have been uploaded to your tactical systems. We strike in 6 hours." Across the Sol system, humanity's hidden strength revealed itself. What the Council believed was Earth's entire fleet, a modest force of 30 warships, was merely the tip of the spear. From asteroid bases, from hollowed-out moons, from clouds of debris that concealed massive shipyards, hundreds of vessels emerged. Humanity had learned from history. They had smiled and negotiated while secretly preparing for the day when patience would no longer suffice. Louis stared at the tactical display as the numbers updated. 317 combat vessels. How did no one know? "Because we're good at misdirection," Hazel said. "And because they assumed we were too young, too naive, too eager to please to ever consider real war." She leaned over the tactical station. "The Council species have been at peace for so long they've forgotten what war actually means. They have their little skirmishes, their posturing, their carefully controlled conflicts. They're going to learn that humans remember." The 6 hours crawled past. The Vraxian fleet maintained its position, confident in its superiority. They didn't detect the human strike forces jumping through carefully mapped gravitic corridors, bypassing normal space to emerge at key Council facilities across 3 sectors. When the countdown reached 0, humanity struck with surgical precision. Day 1. Human forces simultaneously hit 17 Council military installations. The Indomitable led the assault on the Vraxian Armada, and what the crystalline warriors expected to be a brief, punishing battle turned into a nightmare. Human weapons weren't based on the standard plasma and particle beam technology the Council had used for millennia. They were kinetic railguns firing projectiles at relativistic speeds, electromagnetic pulse missiles that fried Vraxian computer systems, and most devastating of all, antimatter warheads. Hazel watched as the Vraxian flagship Eternal Wrath broke apart, its crystalline hull shattering into a billion glittering fragments. "Jump to the next target," she ordered. "Don't give them time to regroup." Lewis coordinated the fleet movements with the efficiency of someone who'd drilled for this moment countless times. "Ma'am, we're receiving surrender requests from the Vraxian 3rd and 5th battle groups. Accept their surrender. Disable their ships and leave garrison forces. We move on." Day 2. The council convened an emergency session, their chambers in chaos. The human delegation, led by Ambassador Sarah Park, stood calmly as species after species demanded explanations, threatened retaliation, called for humanity's expulsion. Ambassador Park waited until the cacophony died down. "You mistake our patience for pacifism," she said simply. "This ends when the Vraxian Empire stands trial for the Mayflower Massacre, and when reparations are paid to every human colony you've raided. Until then, we will dismantle every military asset that threatens us." The Thoraxi ambassador, a being of pure energy contained in a containment suit, flickered with agitation. "You cannot win against the entire council." "We don't need to," Park replied. "We just need to win against those foolish enough to fight. The rest of you are welcome to stand aside." Day 3. Humanity captured the Vraxian homeworld's orbital defenses without firing a shot. The defending fleet, watching their installations fall one after another across the sector, chose discretion over valor. Hazel received their surrender personally via holographic transmission. "Your empire ends today," she told the Vraxian High Command. "Not your species, we're not monsters, but your reign of intimidation and murder is finished." Day 4 and 5 saw mop-up operations. A few council species, the Krell Dominion and the Serpentine League, attempted to support the Vraxians. They lasted less than a day each before withdrawing, their fleets too damaged to continue. The ancient keepers sent a single message. "Fascinating. The children have grown teeth." Day 6. Hazel stood once more on the bridge of the Indomitable, now in orbit above the Vraxian homeworld. Louis brought her the final casualty reports. 437 KIA, just over 2,000 wounded, he said quietly. The Vraxians lost approximately 40,000. The disparity said, everything about the difference between a military that trained constantly for war and one that had grown complacent with assumed superiority. Commander, Louis continued. The council is requesting immediate peace negotiations. They're agreeing to all our terms. Hazel nodded slowly. 6 days. It had taken 6 days to shatter the illusion of council supremacy and prove that humanity belonged among the stars not as supplicants, but as equals. Send the message, she said. Humanity's patience finally snapped. Let's make sure they never force us to do this again.